Hello, everybody. Good morning on this Friday, July 18th, 2025. I got all of your stories for your rush hour ride to work. Happy Friday indeed. On today's episode, actually some sour news to start off on after the death of a famous skydiver, a tragic accident we'll talk about. And then the Late Show has been canceled. Stephen Colbert's Late Show canceled. Some folks think it was politically motivated. And then we'll talk about Trump falling ill, what he has, and why the doctors say it's okay. And then the Wall Street Journal released a bombshell story. Trump is now going to be suing the Rudolph Murdoch-owned newspaper over a story he calls fake. I'll share that with you. There's a lot to get into. It's going to be a wild morning. All these stories and more starts right now on The Rush. All right, so let's dive in. I actually feel terrible for this opening story here. You know what? Okay, how about this? Before we get into the skydiver, let's go with Jesse Palmer. He is announcing the air date for the next season of Golden Bachelor. Bachelor Nation fans not too happy. Have a listen.
Psst. Bachelor Nation.
What up?
You ready for the latest on the Golden Bachelor?
Sure. And there it is, the Golden Bachelor season premiere September 24th. Now, they did not say who the lead will be. It was previously announced as Mel Owens, a guy who hasn't been on the show before. Mel Owens went on a podcast and said, I don't want any woman over 60. I don't want women with white hair or broken hips or whatever the hell else he said. He's 66, I believe, but he wanted 45 to 60 is the age range, which pissed off a lot of folks. Well, I guess they didn't have enough time to recast him because sources are now saying that it will stay as Mel Owens. I think the reviews for this season, or the ratings, I should say, will be lower than the low that they've already had. But again, we'll have to see how it all plays out. I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not here to cancel the show. That's your job. All right. Famed skydiver Felix Baumgartner dies in a paragliding accident at age 56. This is a tragic story. You guys might remember, this is the dude who basically skydived from space, right? He took that Red Bull, a balloon up to space and then skydived. Well, sadly, he's passed away. Have a listen.
A record-breaking skydiver, his stunts known by the world, Felix Baumgartner, has died, killed in a paragliding accident, smashing into the side of a hotel pool. Here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, a tragic fatal crash for a world-renowned daredevil. Felix Baumgartner, known for death-defying stunts, killed in a motorized paragliding accident along the Italian coast. Local officials say the 56-year-old Austrian crashed into the side of a hotel pool. Just hours before, he'd posted this image on Instagram, captioned, "Too much wind." Known as Fearless Felix, Baumgartner gained international acclaim for his heart-pounding 24-mile jump from the edge of space seen in these videos from sponsor Red Bull. In 1999, he set the world record for highest parachute jump from atop the Petronas Towers in Malaysia. And in 2007, this stunning base jump from the 85-foot arm of the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil.
And David, in a statement, Red Bull says Felix was devoted to his friends and family, and he was born to fly.
I mean, real tragic story there. And if there's any updates as to what actually went down, we'll share them for you. Well, we've got a Today Show. You know, I love to show the Today Show. It's always the cheesiest random morning news. Well, here we have Emily Ratajkowski said she's decentering men. What does that mean? Have a listen.
You have said in interviews that you're deprioritizing men. Is that the right way to say it?
Well, the kids say decentering.
Oh, decentering.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I am a single mom, and I think as I've gotten older, started to really value community with other women, particularly, and that's definitely a priority for me.
There it is. And, you know, whenever you have a bad breakup, you're always like, I'm F men, F women, I'm decentering. Well, either way, good for you. I mean, don't decenter us, please. Keep us, I don't know if Emily Ratajkowski listens to the podcast. Do we have any famous people out there? If you're famous and you listen or watch the podcast, shoot me a DM. I'd love to know if anyone out there is centering the rush hour. Well, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is ending next year, with CBS retiring the late night franchise. But, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, it might be kind of politically motivated. Now, we saved the politics for the second half of the episode so we don't trigger some of you folks that want to live in your bubble. Do you, boo, do you. But I'm going to share exactly what he had to say in his announcement, and then a theory that he was canceled after criticizing his parent company. Here's what he said, announcing to the audience that the show was canceled.
Last night, next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. And I do want to say...
What timeline do we live in? I mean, listen, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen Colbert. I don't really watch late night TV. I grew up watching Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno. Loved late night TV. It just doesn't fit into the modern world. I mean, we have TikTok. We have on-demand Hulu and HBO Max, and my podcast, who the hell has time to just sit there at 11:35 and watch a show with commercials and all of that? It's just archaic. Now, I've always thought, wow, if I could ever blow up my channel, I would try to replicate a version of late night TV, because I would love to have the joke writing and the, the monologue jokes and current events and this and that, but it doesn't work in the format that existed there. And again, these shows have been hemorrhaging money. We saw James Corden's show was costing the network a ton of money. So it looks like Jimmy Fallon's really all that's left. Now, Elizabeth Warren posted this. CBS canceled Colbert's show just 3 days after Colbert called out CBS parent company Paramount for its $16 million settlement with Trump, a deal that looks like bribery. Now, this is true. Trump has had lawsuits with like 2020, Paramount, 60 Minutes, a bunch, Disney, ABC, and essentially they settle the lawsuits even though all of these media companies could absolutely win them. Elizabeth Warren said America deserved to know if this show was canceled for political reasons. Now, Stephen Colbert was a staunch critic of Donald Trump. Here is what he said several days ago before finding out the show was getting axed.
Corporation Paramount paid Donald Trump a $16 million settlement over his 60 Minutes lawsuit. As someone who has always been a proud employee of this network, I am offended. And I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company. But just taking a stab at it, I'd say $16 million would help.
So either way, yeah, they were working on this merger, and that's the idea that maybe Trump said, I'll only approve the merger if you fire your late night host and the whole show. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, speaking of Trump, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has held a press conference yesterday. Kind of a big deal here. He's got an illness, look, it happens. He's an old guy. This is not, not rare to, at that age to have different illnesses. But here's what she had to say.
On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs.
Now, initially, they said the bruising on the hand was because he shakes so many people's hands all day, which, again, just typical gaslighting. But now we have answers.
In the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House Medical Unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease.
So there you go. So nothing super serious. And at this point, it's like, look, he's not going to get elected again. It reminds me of this old car. I used to have this old Mercedes. It was like a 20-year-old car, and it was leaking oil everywhere. And I was like, I'm not going to put another dollar into it. Just ride it till it dies. And I hate to sound morose, but that's kind of like now with the president. It's like, good luck with your health. And I hope you have a speedy recovery. I don't know what else to say. All right. Well, coming up next, we have the bombshell news of the day, which is this Wall Street Journal article, which honestly, I'm not here to overhype it. I'll give you my honest opinions on it. But Trump has already said he's suing over it. So now we've got more lawsuits. I don't think we've ever had a president sue anybody before. Now we got just lawsuits, just Yosemite Sam of lawsuits shooting in everyone's direction. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and we've already got fans debunking the president's claims. So all of that and more, it comes up right after this on The Rush.